Hi ladies, and welcome back to the Strong Pregnancy series. Today I have got a full body Pilates workout for you. So we are going to strengthen and mobilize and breathe and move with our whole body using some lovely prenatal friendly Pilates movements. You just need your mat, your space and your long stretchy band today. You might want your large fitness ball, your birthing ball for the very beginning, where we're going to sit and breathe, engage the pelvic floor, deep core. Otherwise, join me sitting on the floor, whichever you prefer. Okay, let's get started. So coming down to the floor, sitting on the floor or sitting on your large ball if you'd rather. We are just going to find a comfortable seated position. So really try and find the sit bones and sit nice and tall, okay? So you're not collapsing, you're not arching into that back or collapsing into that back. Have your legs, however, is comfortable for your hips, okay? So I've got mine in this very kind of long frog position to give myself space for my hips. You could cross them, you might be on your ball. Take your long band, we're going to wrap it around. We are going to just start with our deep core activation, breathing and pelvic floor, okay, today. So finding those sit bones as tall as you can. I've wrapped my band around my mid rib cage area, crossing it over, holding it so it's like that kind of corset, okay? We're going to inhale through our nose, exhale through our mouth. So inhaling through your nose, expand your tummy, bump sides and back into that band. As you exhale through your mouth, we are closing, lifting the pelvic floor up to the belly button and drawing bump into spine as we wrap band, all on that exhale, okay? So exhale, close, lift pelvic floor, draw it up, bump back to spine, pull that band. Inhale, release that pull, release pelvic floor, release bump. Expand into the band. Exhale, close, lift pelvic floor, draw bump in, pull band. Inhale, let everything completely release as you expand into the band. Exhale, close, lift, draw in, pull. Inhale, relax, expand, bump, relax pelvic floor. Exhale, close, lift, draw in, pull. Don't worry if you're on a different time to me. Inhale, relax pelvic floor, let bump expand, relax the band, pull. Exhale, close, lift, draw, bump in, pull, band. Try and keep your butt cheeks soft, ladies. Inhale, let everything release. Exhale, close, lift, draw in, pull. Inhale, let everything release. Exhale, close, lift, draw in, pull. Inhale, let everything release. On our next exhale and engage, we're going to hold that pelvic floor up high inside us. Exhale, close, lift the pelvic floor, draw it up, pull that band. Good, now holding your pelvic floor, keep it lifted up and just breathe into the band. Okay, so you're keeping that pelvic floor lifted. Visualize you've lifted it up towards your belly button. Okay, you're keeping it lifted. Keep it up there. It's hard, I know. Keep it lifted. Soft butt cheeks and then just breathe into the band. On your exhale, just pull and wrap and draw bump in a little bit more if you can, but keep lifting that pelvic floor. Keep it lifted for 2 more breaths. Keep it lifted for 1 more breath. And relax it down. Good. If you're struggling with that, check out the video that I did, which is pure pelvic floor deep core engagement in the series, and practice that as much as you need to, okay? Okay, so keeping that band wrapped around that rib cage area, uncross it, take it in each hand here. Elbows are tucked into the body, forearms are facing up to the sky. We're gonna open up the arms, rotate from the shoulder joints. We're gonna stretch those arms, just lift your chest to the sky, and then release the elbows back into the body. Exhale, lift. No, let's inhale, lift. Exhale, come back, okay? It's almost like someone's just lifting you up through your breastbone. Shine your chest to the sky. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Release back. Keep those arms rotated. Forearms facing the sky. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release back. So just almost like a little chest lift. Someone's pulling you up through your breastbone. Very, very, very small, gentle back bend from the very top of the spine, where we're getting quite tight in pregnancy, I know. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Good, 1 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Good. One more exercise. Let's activate those back muscles. Take the band from around the back. Hold it in front of you. Good. Shoulder width. And then we're just going to exhale, pull that band apart, squeeze in between those shoulder blades. Inhale, release. If you want more tension, you take your hands closer together. You can even double your band. Exhale, pull. Inhale, release. Try not to pop the ribs or poke bump out here. So as you exhale, small drawing in of bump to spine. Spine stays still and neutral. We're not arching the back. We're not collapsing the back. Stay nice and tall. Good. Exhale, pull. Inhale, release. Really pull that band apart. Really squeeze an imaginary hand for me in between the bottom of the shoulder blades each time you pull the band apart. Inhale, release. So we're keeping those mid-back postural muscles nice and strong. Going to be super important postpartum with all the baby holding and feeding to keep these strong postural back muscles. There's a whole session on this, on postural back strengthening in the series. Check that out if you haven't already. Let's do 3 more using that exhale, and 2 more. Last one. Good. And I'll just give you a little chest stretch here, chest shoulder stretch while we're holding the band. Lift it up as wide as you need to with your hands to go all the way over. You can go way wider with the band, which you're going to have space behind you. Good. Let's take one more. Bring it in front of you. Inhale. Pull it apart as you exhale and go all the way over. Just get that nice shoulder chest stretch. Hold it where you feel the stretch the most, in line with the shoulders, chest height. And just breathe there for 3. And 2, and 1, and release. Good. Popping your band down, coming into your 4-point kneeling tabletop position. Okay. 4-point kneeling tabletop, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Let's take our cat-cow. Inhale. Exhale, roll the pelvis under, curving all the way through the spine. And then inhale to reverse into that gentle extended cat or cow. Exhale, roll the pelvis under. Curve all the way from the sit bones, all the way to the head nodding forward. Inhale, reverse into that gentle arch, lift the chest. Exhale, cat stretch. Really try to tuck that pelvis under as much as you can. Think pubic bone to belly button. I know it's hard, there's really restricted with bump. Just do as much as you can. Inhale, reverse. Let's go 1 more. Really focus on pushing the floor away, separating your shoulder blades, getting that mid-back stretch. Inhale, reverse. Good. Find your neutral spine, tabletop, bump up to spine. Let's rotate. Pick up your right hand. Inhale, exhale, bend the left elbow. Keeping the hips high, twist the spine, reach that hand through. Thread it through, thread the needle. Through the center. Open that right hand to the sky, just open through the chest. Good, let's take 3 more on this side. Find your own pace, don't worry if you're not with me. Exhale, bend, twist, reach. Inhale, exhale, open. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, bend, twist, reach. Really rotate top and mid of your spine. Thoracic spine, where we get super tight in pregnancy. Inhale, exhale, open. 1 more. Inhale, exhale, bend, twist, reach. Inhale, exhale, open up through that chest. Oh, feels so good, this one. Put that right hand down. Let's find this on the second side. 4 reps. Pick up that left hand. Inhale, exhale, bend, twist, reach. Inhale, exhale, open up. And 2. And 3. Reaching through, twisting through that mid-spine. And then opening up through the chest. And last one on this second side. Last open up. Good, pop that hand down. Let's take a child's pose before we go into the next little sequence. Feet together, knees as wide as you need to for bump, and come and sit back onto those heels. Arms could be stretched out, they might be under your head, they might be beside your body. And then just breathing
Focus on that breath. On your inhale, you expand into bump sides and back. Relax the pelvic floor, ladies. Let it soften and open. 1 or 2 more big breaths here. Last one. And then rolling yourself up. Good. Coming back into the 4-point kneeling position. We're going to take a little glute, core, hamstring sequence with a little bit of very light upper body in actually today. Make sure you've got space behind you to stretch that leg. So, knee to nose and then stretch the leg. So let's go right leg. And we're going to take our knee to nose, little curve of the spine. Bring your knee in towards your nose and then stretch that leg behind you. On your exhale, draw bump up to spine. Use that deep core. Knee to nose. Inhale. Exhale, draw bump up to your spine to stretch. 2. We'll go 10 reps. And 3. Mind your own pace. Don't worry if you're not with me. And 4. Square hips, ladies. And 5. Stretching in line with the spine, switching the glute and hamstrings on. And 6. Draw bump up to spine each time you stretch that leg. So we're really using the deep core. And 7. And 8. Last 2. Last 1. Good. Now we are going to take a tap and a lift and then a small tricep press up. Elbows go straight back in line with the body. Tuck them into the sides of the body. Okay, so let's go together. Tap and lift. Bend those elbows and press. Tap and lift. Bend the elbows and press. Good. Let's go. Inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale. And 4. And exhale and inhale and exhale. And 5. You got this. Lift. Tricep press up. Just lowering the chest to the mat as much as you can. It might be much smaller than mine. Don't worry if it is. Elbows tight into the body and press. Good. And 8. Last 2. And 9. And lift. Tricep push up and press. Last 1 and 10. And lift. Tricep. And push to finish. Keep that leg straight. Pulse it up. And pulse. Let's use that strong exhale. Lift bump up. If you want to make this harder, you lift the opposite arm. Exhale. Exhale. Good. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Lower it down. We're going to take a child's pose in between sides. That was quite intense, I know. Feet together. Knees nice and wide. And sit back. Good. Breathe. Well done, ladies. Take a breather before we take that sequence on the second side. Good, last couple of breaths there. Last big breath. Roll yourself up. Good, second side. I'm going to turn around so you can see my form a little bit better. You do not need to turn around. So left leg, knee to nose, and then stretch behind you. Make sure you have that space. Okay, let's go. 10 reps. Knee to nose. And stretch. Square hips. I don't want to see this. Square hips. Hip to the mat. Knee to nose. And stretch. So your breath is inhale and then exhale to draw bump up to stretch. We're using that deep core connection. Don't lift the leg too high. And really use that deep core connection with that strong exhale. And 5. Every time you stretch that leg. And 6. And 7. Don't worry if you're not with me, find your pace. And 8. Last 2. And 1. Good. We've got our tap and lift, our tricep, push up, tap, lift, and bend, and press. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Good. Inhale, lift, bump up each time. Inhale, exhale. This is 5. This is 6. Elbows tight into the body. And push. And 7. And lift. And press. And push. And 8. And lift. Inhale. Exhale. Last 2. Inhale. Inhale. exhale, last one, inhale, exhale, and bend, and press into pulses, pulse, pulse, exhale, exhale. If you want to make it harder, you lift the opposite arm. Good, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, lower, slide it in, well done, last child's pose. Just taking these lovely restorative child's poses in between our active work, so that we're still working really hard on our strengthening, but we're also just giving ourselves those chances to breathe, release, and recover in between, which is pretty important in pregnancy. Using this really lovely, deep rib cage breath to expand into those ribs where we get really tight in pregnancy. Relax the pelvic floor, relax the shoulders, relax the low back. On your next exhale, rolling yourself up.
Good, well done. We're going to take a side lying sequence. Let's go on to our right side first. We're going to take our clams, which you'll probably know by now because I add them into so many workouts. So let's go forearms for the first version. Elbow under shoulder, forearm forward. You're on your right hip, your knees are bent, your sit bones are roughly in line with your mid-calves, hand on hip. 10 clams, inhale. Exhale to open that knee, rotating at the hip joint. Inhale to close. Let's go 10. Exhale, open. Draw bump in with each exhale. Inhale, close. Exhale, 3. Inhale, close. Exhale, 4. Inhale, close. Exhale, 5. And 6, drawing bump in, keep lifting through this underneath side of the waist so we get a little bit of light oblique, light shoulder strengthening. Good. If you're with me, this is 9 and 10. Good, we're going to go down to the mat for the next version. You can go on the underneath arm or on the hand. Lift both your feet and we'll go 10 here with the feet lifted. 1. Good. And 2, really rotating out at the hip. And 3, getting that lovely hip mobility, and then that glute medius hip strengthening. Super important in pregnancy as that pelvis is shifting and expanding. And 5. And 6. Exhale, bump in, a little bit of light core, just to help stabilize the pelvis. Last one if you're with me, rest at 10 if you're at your own pace. Knee to knee, lower those feet. We're going to go our internal, external. So bottom leg stays on the floor, lift the top leg up, keep it bent, rotate in, tap your knee to knee. Rotate out, tap your toe to toe. Internal rotation. External rotation, feels so weird, I know. So good for our hips. Really getting that full rotational movement that we have available in our hip sockets going. Okay, as our hips are getting tighter and stiffer as our pelvis is expanding in pregnancy. We want to do all we can to keep them super mobile and moving. Yeah, this will help with hip pain, okay? The more movement you have in your joints, keep them mobile. It kind of produces like a lubricating fluid in our joints, synovial fluid, which actually helps alleviate aches and pains. So really keep it going. Last one. And rest that knee down. Give it a little rub if you need to. Good. Okay, you're going to stretch both your legs. You're going to turn, keep your bottom leg parallel, turn the top leg out. I actually like to go down on my underneath arm here. If you want to stay there, you can. Hand needs to be on the floor for stability. We're going to draw that toe to the knee. It's turned out, okay? It's like a, if you've ever done ballet, this is like a développé. Okay, and then we're going to stretch that leg and then lower it and squeeze it back to the underneath leg. Okay, so draw the toe to the knee, lift the knee a little bit if you can, stretch that leg. Your leg might not stretch as high as this, don't worry, it might be stretching more like here. And then squeeze in from those inside thighs. Okay, draw it up. You can lift the knee here, there if you can. If not, don't worry, make it, it can be lower. And then someone's pulling your leg away from you here as you squeeze the inside thighs together. Good, so this is a développé if you know any ballet. Squeeze those inside thighs together. Core is needed here. Draw bump in, hand is firmly on the floor. Let's go 3 more. And 3, squeezing the glutes, squeezing the inside thighs. Long leg, lengthen, 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 lengthen to squeeze it in. Last one. Good, keeping that top leg straight and turned out, lift it up. Now this bottom leg can turn out a tiny bit or it can stay in parallel. See which feels more stable for you. I kind of go like a little bit turned out. You're then going to squeeze it up to that top leg and lower it back down. So pure inside thighs. Zip that pelvic floor up, okay? Exhale, squeeze it up. Inhale, lower it down. Hand is on the floor for stability. Exhale, squeeze it up. Inhale, lower it down. This is pure inside thighs. If it's too hard, lower that top leg down, okay? The higher that top leg is, exhale up. Inhale down, the harder it is to lift the underneath leg up to meet it. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Lifting that pelvic floor up high inside you, ladies. Squeeze on those inside thighs. 3 more. And 3. And 2. And 1. Lower both legs down. Well done. Good. We're going to finish this side lying sequence with a forearm side plank. So carefully bend those knees and very carefully push yourself up to your forearm. Elbow under shoulder. We're just going to hold it and breathe for 8 to 10 breaths. So if you are still practicing a full straight leg side plank, you're more than welcome to take straight legs. Top leg will come in front of the bottom leg and you will be here, okay? If you're earlier in your pregnancy, you're still feeling fairly strong there. Otherwise, you're going to bend your knees, okay? Probably much more realistic option, especially if you're later in pregnancy. Bend your knees, sit bones roughly in line with your mid calves, top hip over the bottom hip, elbow under shoulder, and lift here. Okay, so join me here if you're going to do the knee bent version. I'm actually going to go for a straight leg version today, feeling pretty strong. So stay where you are, ladies, but if you're doing a straight leg version, join me top leg in front of the bottom leg and lift here. Good, keep breathing wherever you are. Exhale, draw a bump in. Good, exhale, draw a bump in, lifting through that underneath side of the waist. Let's try for 3 to 4 more breaths. Keep lifting through the underneath shoulder. Last 2 breaths. Last breath. Bend your knees if you have them straight. Carefully, carefully, carefully bring the hips down. Good, lovely. Bringing yourself up. We are going to go over to the second side. We have that whole sequence to do on the second side. I know, we have to even up. We're very wonky if we don't. Okay, so exercise number 1 is your clams. Plain clams on your forearm. So elbow under shoulder, forearm pointing forward, lift through this underneath side of the waist. You'll notice as you get through the clams, you'll start to sink. Push the floor away and lift. Knees are bent, sit bones in line with your calves. Hand on hip, let's go. 10 reps. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. And 3. And 4. And 5. And 6. Really rotating from that hip joint. And 7. And 8. Last 2. Draw a bump in. A little bit of light core work to stabilize that pelvis. Last 1. Good. You're coming down to the mat for version 2 with both the feet lifted. Find your comfortable position, hand on arm or head on hand. Lift both those feet up. Make sure as you lift those feet up, ladies, you haven't shifted hip forward. Draw that top hip back. It's over the bottom hip. Stack those hips. 10 reps. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. Rotating out from that hip joint. A little bit of light glute work on the underneath glute now on this version. Try not to push too much from the toes. That should be nice and light. Or feet if your feet aren't pointed. Okay, the work is happening here. I know all the cheeks. That's a massive cheek press from the feet so that you're detracting from the work here. Good, exhale 5. We're going to 10 if you're at your own counts. Go with me if you're with me. This is 6. And 7. And 8. Last 2. Really strengthening those pelvic stability muscles, glute med. And 10. Good. Lower the knee to knee, lower the feet. Internal, external, bottom legs on the floor for this one. Lift that top leg up, keep it bent. Rotate in, turn in, knee to knee. Turn out, toe to toe or foot to foot. Turn in, knee to knee. Turn out. So really visualize your hip joint on this one. We've got that ball and socket joint at our hip joint, haven't we? So the top of that thigh bone is the ball rotating inwards, rotating outwards, really getting that full range of movement capacity that we have in that ball and socket joint, keeping our hips super lubricated and healthy as they are under so much strain and pressure in pregnancy. Good, last 2. And 2. And 1. Good, well done. Lower down, give it a rub here if you need to. Okay, you've got that développé movement into our inside thigh exercise. So stretching both those legs slightly in front of the line of the spine. Okay, and then I like to go down on my arm here. So top leg is turned out, bottom leg, depending on what feels comfortable for you, either completely parallel or that tiny, tiny bit of turnout. Just see where it feels most stable. Hand firmly on the floor. You definitely need core or jaw bump in. Toe to knee, and then from here you either just stretch the leg straight up, or if you have a bit of capacity to lift the knee and stretch from there, you can. Lower it and squeeze those inside thighs together. Toe tracks up to knee, stretch that top leg, lengthen to squeeze it in. You need lots of core, otherwise you'll find that you rock back. Really jaw bump in, really hold the floor as much as you need to. Toe to knee, stretch that leg. Imagine someone's pulling your leg away from you here. Okay, so it's that lengthened feeling to squeeze it in and really squeeze from those inside thighs, zip that pelvic floor up. Just keep moving, I'm talking a lot. Exhale, find your breath. Let your breath flow, see where you need your exhale, a little bit more core. 3 more. And 3. Doesn't matter if you're much slower than me or faster, always finding your pace that you can control. And 2. Last one, squeeze it in. Good, lift that top leg, not too high, just a very small lift, because then you've got to squeeze that bottom leg up to it and lower. And if you can see my bottom leg, I'm kind of like in halfway between parallel and turned out. That feels good for my underneath hip. Yours might be completely parallel, might be turned out. See what feels better on your hip. Good, exhale to squeeze up. As long as you're really using those inside thighs, squeeze it up. Zip the pelvic floor up high inside you, ladies. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Good. 4 more. 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Lower them down. Good. We have our side plank hold on our forearm to finish. Do the same version that you did on the first side. Bend those knees to carefully bring yourself up. Elbow is directly under shoulder, forearm is pointing forward. Okay, so if you did your knees bent version, your knees are bent, your sit bones will be in line with your calf. You're going to hold here. If you're joining me in the straight leg version, stretch both your legs. Top leg goes in front of the bottom foot. So top foot in front of the bottom foot, so you've got that staggered stance. Okay, 8 to 10 slow breath holds. Find your position. Hips are square. Push the floor away, lift here, let's breathe. 10 breaths. And 3. Keep lifting through this underneath side. Keep drawing bump in. If 10's too much, you rest whenever you need to. And 5. And 6. And 7. And 8. Last 2 if you can. Don't worry if not. Last 1. Good. Bend your knees to come down if you have them straight. Ah, well done, lovely ladies. Well done. You're going to bring yourself into that 4-point kneeling just really carefully. We're going to tuck our toes and come into a flat back elephant or a down dog. Tuck those toes, draw your bump up, find that flat back elephant or down dog. Just massage through those heels, pedal through those heels, find that calf pump, that calf stretch. Pushing one heel down at a time. You're looking back towards the elbows, your hips are nice and high. Now push both heels towards the mat. You bend your knees as much as you need to here to get that length through the spine. Okay, so don't worry if your legs aren't straight like mine, they might be here, totally fine. Also feel free to make your feet a bit wider if it feels more comfortable for bump and hips, okay? So traditionally flat back elephant or down dog if you're a yogi would be hip width. When we're pregnant it doesn't always feel good for bump, so you go wider if you need to. Couple more breaths there. Imagine someone is lifting you up through the back of your hips, okay? So we're trying to get some space and length through that low back, which is hard in pregnancy, I know.
Bend those knees as much as you need to now to walk the hands back to the heels very carefully, back to the toes. Okay, and then we're going to take a few roll downs to finish this session today. So you're going to roll up and stack your spine for me. Relax the head, relax the shoulders. Stack your pelvis on top of your thigh bones. Roll up through your low spine, your mid spine, the top of your spine, your neck, your head. We're going to go all the way down and up a few times, okay? Find this posture for me, ladies, okay? So you're not here. If you're here, inhale, exhale, lift your pelvic floor, draw a bump in. Find that neutral, sit bones pointing to the floor, okay? Keep that as we roll down and up. Inhale, exhale, chin to chest. Roll down. You bend your knees as soon as you need to on these for the hamstrings. You can keep them straight, great, but do not worry. If not, go down to wherever your spine and back wants you to go to. Inhale. Exhale, rolling up. You stack the pelvis on the thigh bones. You're trying to find this neutral at the pelvic low back as quick as you can. And then you're just stacking the mid-spine, top of the spine, neck, head, okay? So finding that neutral as quickly as you can on the way up. Let's go one more time. Chin to chest, rolling down. Relax the arms, relax the shoulders. You bend the knees whenever you need to. Go down to wherever your body wants you to go to here. Don't force it too much. Let's just take a few breaths at the bottom of this one. Let's actually take hold of the opposite elbows and really kind of hang. Let go of any tension in the head, just say no a few times. Let gravity just pull through the back of the neck and the upper back a bit. Breathe into the back. Relax those elbows now, let go. We'll roll up one more time. Restack your spine through with really good posture. Get those sit bones pointing to the floor as quick as you can. Restep the low spine, the middle spine, the top of the spine, the neck, the head, all the way to standing. Good. Just to finish, inhale, roll the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, roll them back and down. And we'll take one big side bend in each direction. Take your feet as wide as you need to. Inhale, let's lift that right arm up. Exhale, just reach over to the side. Get a lovely side stretch through the side body. I basically have to side stretch every day in pregnancy. I don't know about you. I get so tight in my waist, in my ribs, which is really common. One more big breath in this side. Then carefully come up. Same to the second side. Inhale, lift that left arm. Exhale, reaching over. Stay square, so keep this left shoulder back. And then just breathe into that side. Breathe space in between the ribs, into that tightness. One or two more big breaths. And reset. Oh, well done, ladies. Thank you for joining me in that wonderful session. I hope you feel stronger, more released, more connected to your body and to your bump. And I look forward to meeting you on the mat again soon.